guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to start in child's pose. And we'll start with the knees up as wide as the mat, toes into touch. Walk your hands up and forward and bring your forehead down towards the mat. Let's start with a nice deep inhalation through your nose. And with an open mouth exhale, let go of the whole weight of your body down towards the mat. Whenever you are ready for it, you can close your eyes and start to bring your focus inwards. Start to feel the sensations from within, the rhythm of your breath, the stretches or the tensions within your body. Feeling it all without judgment, without an expectation, without giving it a certain value of feeling good or bad. It just simply is. Today we'll work with the focusing of the mind, which we call dharana. So as we go through our practice today, we'll allow ourselves to tune in and let go of all the distractions from the world around us. Whether that is an urge to move or drink water or do something different like adjusting our clothes. Or whether that is a perspective of your mind, an expectation to a feeling or a performance in a certain posture. A way of focusing the mind is to find a one focus. So at this point in your child's pose, let's start by just letting that be in your breath. You can breathe in an even rhythm in and out through your nose. And if you prefer, you can begin your ujjayi breath, the victorious breath, the breath with sound. As we allow our mind to tune into the single focus of the breath. As you stay in your child's pose and your eyes are closed, direct the gaze of your eyes up towards the center of your eyebrows. We call this the Ajna Drishti, the Ajna Chakra Drishti, the spot right in between your eyebrows. We allow that spot of focus to be everything right here and right now. A spot of intuition and intelligence and where these two meet. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed, and on your next inhalation, we'll bring it up on the hands and knees, coming into a tabletop, all fours. Spread out your fingers nice and wide and direct your index fingers straight forward. Your next breath in, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze upwards for cow pose. And on your exhale, tuck your tailbone in and under as you direct your gaze back towards your navel. Inhale as you lift your tailbone, drop your belly, press the mat away from you, direct the gaze upwards, Urdhva Drishti. Exhale, tuck your tailbone in and under and direct your gaze towards your navel. Continue here following your own breath. These focus spots that we direct the gaze towards, our drishtis, are another way of directing focus inwards in our postures. Typically, the attention of your mind goes where your sight goes. Your next inhalation will come back to a neutral tabletop. And on your exhale, draw in your navel. Your next breath in, lift your right heel up and back. Flex through the ankle and direct your pinky toe slightly downward so that your hip squares towards the mat. Draw in your navel and your core. Take another breath in, get long through the heel. And on your exhale, direct the toes of your left foot out over the edge of the mat as you tilt your weight over to the left knee and left hand. The right hand comes towards the ceiling for modified side plank. In this posture, we send our gaze up towards that little half moon at the base of your thumb. We still have a slow and rhythmic breath. Take another inhale. On your exhale, drop the right foot to the floor. Inhale, come up to gate pose with a lateral bend. Reach your left hand towards the ceiling and over towards the right side as your right hand slides lightly down over the right leg. Feel the stretch alongside your left body. Inhale and bring both hands up towards the ceiling. Gaze upwards towards the sky as you find a slide back bend. Urdhva Drishti, the Drishti that goes towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone slightly and draw in your navel. Take one more inhale, lift your chest, and on your exhale, send your left hand back down to the mat. Inhale as your right foot comes back up into that modified side plank. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the floor, left toes come back, knee to nose, curling around your spine. Inhale, bring your right foot back in a straight line through the top of your head, spine to the heel. Exhale, knee to nose, and this time we'll step that foot all the way through between your hands, modified lunge. Inhale, bring both hands towards the ceiling. Your gaze follows in between your hands. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down towards the ground as you sink a little deeper into the hip flexor stretch. Inhale, feel the chest rise, hands lift, gaze up. Exhale as you draw down into your hips, stretching deeper. Take another inhale and exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Tuck the toes behind you, press the back knee off the mat, firm up the back leg. Inhale and reach the right hand towards the ceiling. Once again, our Drishti is towards the base of your thumbnail. Draw in your belly and lift up through your hips so you're not sacking down. Press your right hip towards the back and your left hip towards the front. Take another inhale here, reach up. Exhale, bring the hand back down to the ground and step back into a high plank. Inhale, shift it slightly forward. And exhale, hug your elbows into the side of your body as you lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Draw your shoulder blades back and in, look down. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes behind you. Inhale, come up to tabletop. And exhale, engage your core. Inhale, send the left foot out behind you. Flex the ankle, pinky toes pointing down. Hold it for another inhale as you get long all the way through the crown of your head. Exhale, turn your toes out over the edge of the mat and shift your weight over to the right hand. Inhale, your left hand, rise, modified side plank, looking up towards the base of your thumb. Strong and engaged core, and feeling the activation of the outer side of your left thigh. Keep your focus, keep your gaze. Take another inhale. On your exhale, drop the left foot to the ground. Inhale, come up to gate pose with a lateral bend. Exhale, slide your left fingertips down the left leg, light touch. Inhale and bring both hands up, look up towards the ceiling. Find a slight back bend as your chest rises. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down towards the ground, drawing your belly. Hold it for another inhale, look up. Exhale, right hand comes down to the floor. Inhale, back to the modified side plank. Lift the left foot, find your gaze at the base of your thumb. Exhale, left hand down, right foot back of the mat, left knee to your nose. Gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, elongate the leg behind you. Find a gaze down on the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, and drop the foot between your hands. Modify lunge. Inhale, rise both hands up. Your gaze follows all the way up to the sky, Urdhva Drishti. Exhale, and sink into that good hip flexor stretch. Inhale, chest rise. Exhale, hips draw down. One more inhalation. And on your exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground. Press the back knee off the mat. Firm up the quadriceps on that right thigh. Inhale, bring your left hand towards the ceiling. Gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, draw in your belly and your inner thighs to twist the torso a little more upwards. We got a straight line from the right hand to the left fingertips. Pressing backwards through the back heel. Remain the focus, remain your gaze. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come to the ground, step back, high plank. Inhale to shift forward, find a focus spot on the mat in front of you. Exhale, lower yourself just halfway down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, chest rise. Exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. And a deep breath out. In downward facing dog, to find our inner focus, we direct the gaze of our eyes towards the navel. If that seems to be crunching your neck too much, then find the gaze back between your feet. A drishti means a soft gaze. When you're focusing on something for a really long time, and it almost becomes blurry. As you find stillness and steadiness in downward facing dog, try and resist the movements from here and just find stillness between your breath, your gaze, and the focus of your mind. Your next breath in, bring your right heel towards the ceiling. Find length from the heel and down to the crown of your head. Exhale, knee to nose. Gaze towards your navel. Curl, tuck, and rock. Tiger pose. Inhale, right heel rise. Elongate. Exhale, nice and slow, knee to nose. And we'll step that foot all the way through. Low lunge. Drop the back heel and turn your toes in a 45-degree angle upwards. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, one, warrior one. Directing the gaze up between your hands, Urdhva Drishti. Press evenly down through both of your feet, like you are trying to press and pull the mat into two pieces. As you reach upwards, you'll feel the downwards corners of your shoulder blades rotating outwards and upwards. This will allow your shoulders to have more space to reach upwards. Tuck your tailbone towards the ground as you draw your left hip forward and your right hip backwards. Sink deep into the lunge till you feel the activation of the quadriceps of your right thigh. Take another inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Let's start with the right thumb on top of the left. Inhale, press your knuckles back towards the left foot. Find a slight back bend and an upward gaze. Exhale, humble warrior. Allow your chest to melt down to the inner side of your right thigh. Your knuckles begin to reach overhead. Your gaze at this point is going to be right down on your big toe. Slow and steady breath. Using your core strength to hold your body here instead of just releasing and letting the leg do all the work. Your next breath in, press your knuckles back towards the back foot, lift your chest up, find a slight back bend. Exhale, release the fingers, hands to hips, and straighten out the front leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Use your left hand to guide your left hip forward, right hip draw back until your hips are squared forward. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. Keeping the front leg straight and the quadriceps of the right leg firm. You go down as far as you can, keeping the spine long and straight. From here, you can release your hands to the ground and continue to walk them forward, releasing your forehead downward. Once again, gaze towards your big toe. What actually might feel good to get the hamstring stretching a little more, and it'll feel like you have more space to do it, is to guide the left foot just a couple of inches closer towards the right foot. We still draw the right hip backwards, left hip forward. Press your chest towards that big toe where your focus still is. Slow and steady breath. As the front side of your right thigh activates, you will have a relaxation and a release of the back side, your hamstring, to allow for a deeper stretch. From here, if you have a block, you can put it right on the inner side of your right foot. Otherwise, plant your hand on the floor or your fingertips. Keep the hips squared straight ahead and begin to lengthen your spine as your right hand goes to your hip. Find a gaze down on your big toe. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, press the left hand in against the block as you turn your chest towards the right side of the room. And as your chest starts to square to the right, your right shoulder stack on top of the left, and then you can reach the right hand towards the ceiling and let your gaze follow the base of your thumb. Draw in your belly. Lift up through the tailbone and lengthen through the crown of the head. The more you press and ground down into the earth, the higher you will reach through the right hand. Slow and steady breath. Take one more inhale and an exhale. From here, direct your gaze back down towards the earth, a little bit in front of your foot. Find a one focus spot. Soften the front knee just a little bit and guide the block a couple of inches out in front of that foot. Begin to shift your weight forward into the right foot, continuously finding that focus spot on the floor. When you're ready for it, left foot lifts in a straight line from your hips to the crown of your head. We're still twisting through the torso, activating the core and the inner thighs. If you're steady, you can begin to guide your gaze back up towards your thumb. If you feel like you lose balance here, then continue gazing down to the earth. The most important thing is that you find a one focus gaze. Take one more inhale in this free roll, balancing half moon. And on your exhale, bring the back foot to the floor, both hands to the floor, low lunge. Inhale, high plank, shift forward over your fingertips. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders down, chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find stillness and find steadiness. Finding that one focus with your gaze, resisting the urges to move around. Inhale, lift the left foot high to the sky, nice and slow. Exhale, slowly, knee to nose, draw in your core and shift forward over your hand. Gaze towards your navel. Inhale, slowly reach the leg back up high. Once again, tiger pose, knee to nose, exhale, and step through low lunge. Release the right heel towards the ground Toes pointing outwards and forwards in an angle. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, 1, Warrior 1. Let your gaze follow towards the sky as your fingertips are reaching upwards. Ground down into both of your feet as your pelvis sinks evenly down in between your legs. Drop your tailbone towards the earth, taking the compression out of your lower spine. Finding slight back bend as your chest rises. Take another inhale, lift up. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. This time left thumb goes on top of the right. Inhale, push your knuckles back towards the right foot. Exhale, humble warrior. Allow your chest to melt down to the inner side of your left leg. Gaze goes towards your big toenail. Allow the weight and gravity to work together to pull your hands forward overhead. Slow and steady breath as we use the core strength to hold the weight of the upper body. Your next breath in, lift up through your torso, press your knuckles towards the back leg, lift your chest. Exhale, release your hands, straighten out the front foot. Press the right hip forward, the left hip backwards as we have a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips with a straight spine, leaning downwards and forward. Activate the front side of that left leg. When you get to the point where your spine wants to fold, release your hands to the ground, find your Drishti gaze on your big toe, and fold. If it felt better before to slide that right foot a couple of inches in, go ahead and do that now. Feel this line of energy that shoots back through your tailbone and forward through the crown of your head, encouraging length through the spine. As the front side of your left thigh engages, the back side allows to relax and stretch deeper. Still breathing slowly and steady. If you needed a block before, go ahead and bring it into the inner side of your left foot. Right hand goes on top. Bring your left hand to the hip and begin to lengthening the spine. So this is where the block is nice, so we can get it up to the point where you can actually find a straight spot. If you're trying to touch the floor but your spine is rounded, that means you need that extra support. Inhale, find length and find a focus spot on the floor. Exhale, ground the right hand into the block. As your chest turns towards the left side, your hips stay square. From here, you can reach the left hand towards the ceiling and turn your gaze up towards the base of your thumbnail. Draw in your inner thighs, draw in your navel, and stack your arms on top of each other. Slow and steady breath, helping us stay balanced as our gaze is upwards and our torso is twisted. Draw forward the right hip and draw backwards the left. From here, find your gaze back down on the floor in front of you and send the block forward as you soften the left knee. Continue to turn your chest towards the left side. Shift your weight forward into the left foot. And on your next breath in, right foot releases. Hips are square towards the mat, so the right pinky toe is rotated slightly downwards. Your arms are stacked, your chest is twisted and turned towards the left side of the room. If you feel shaky, continue to gaze downwards and on one single focus spot. If you feel steady, you can gaze up towards your thumbnail. Stay strong and steady for another inhale. As you exhale, step the foot towards the back of the mat, hands to the mat. Low lunge. Inhale to high plank as you shift forward over your fingertips. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. Taking a moment to draw your focus inwards and find stillness of your body and of your mind and of your gaze. Take one more inhale, and on your exhale, drop down on your knees and take a seat. From here, you may take a block with you as we lower our way all the way down to the floor. When you make it down on your back, hug your knees and over your chest for a second. And maybe rock it gently side to side. Find the steadiness of your breath, whether you're just using an equal rhythm of inhales and exhales, or whether it's Ujjayi breath. Release your feet down to the ground, right behind your glutes, with a straight line from your hips through your knees and out through your big toes. Roll your shoulder blades downwards and inwards, opening through the chest, palms facing down. On your next breath in, we got bridge pose. Press down through your heels and draw up through your hips. Palms are pressing down into the earth to open the chest a little further. Gaze here goes towards the tip of your nose. Slow and steady breath. Have the sensation of you squeezing onto a block between your inner thighs, keeping your knees in line with your hips. Take another full inhale. Keep the focus on your nose. And on your exhale, slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. You can close your eyes here. Allow the knees to fall inwards and walk your feet to the outer edges of the mat, fallen bridge. As your eyes close, turn your gaze towards the center of your eyebrows. Take a couple of deep inhalation and deep exhalation. Slowly toe heel your feet back in behind your glutes and open your eyes. We'll continue from here and make our way into shoulder stand. Again, rotate your shoulder blades in behind you. Tuck your chin, find length through your neck. From here, press through your hands, lift your feet up, and bring your hands towards your sacrum on your lower back. Walk your elbows in towards each other. From here, you walk your hands up the spine as far as you can as your legs begin to straighten up. From here, we can direct the gaze up towards your big toe. And let's begin to fan out the toes, spreading your toes as wide as you can and flexing them. Heel stays together. Draw your hips forward and your chin towards your throat. You're welcome to stay, but if you want to do Halasana plow pose, you can release your feet down behind you, either one at a time or both. From here, interlace your fingers behind you and straighten out your arms. Direct your gaze towards your tip of your nose. Nasram, Drishti. Slow and steady breath. Once again, fan out your toes, flexing through the big toe. Finding steadiness and stillness with the focusing of the mind in our Drishti. From here, bend your knees. Bring your knees down on each side of your ears. You can bring your hands back to your lower back. Still focusing the tip of your nose. As the knees comes to the outer ears, it symbolizes the attention drawing inwards. When you're ready for it, begin to roll down the spine using the support of your hands. Engage the core and bring your hands to the floor and slowly continue rolling down until your tailbone reaches the floor. Hop your knees back in over your chest and rock gently side to side. Deep inhalation and a releasing exhale. Inhale, draw your nose up towards your knees, curl into a tiny little ball. And on your exhale, release your arms down to the sides and your legs down flat for a final resting pose, Shavasana. At this point, close your eyes again and draw the attention of your gaze towards the center of your eyebrows. The center of intuition, of intelligence. The intuition that we can learn to listen to if we can direct our focus and quiet the mind. As we keep the direction of the gaze or drishti in between the eyebrows, you can continue to focus on the rhythms of your breath. The dharana, our inward focus. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you want with the inward focus of dharana. I want to thank you all for practicing with me today.